Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. We're gonna learn here how to crochet an oversized sweater this is the easiest tutorial you can make an oversized sweater. If you are a beginner, you can do it. All you're gonna need is just 1 week to finish it, but if you're a professional, I promise you can finish this sweater in just a day, maybe two. So all you're gonna need is two hooks and a scissor, of course. One is 6 millimeters and the other is 4 millimeters. So here's the diagram to what we're gonna make. So we're gonna make the front of our sweater into two halves. This is where your neck is going to be, and we are going to chain vertically, just like that. So we're gonna start out by chain 60 chain for medium and large. Here I'm going to make it for medium to large, but if you're smaller you can decrease the amount, or if you want it more, just one of the easiest way to know your size is grab an old sweater, oversized sweater that you already have, and measure your chain to it. It's going to be so easy and so accurate to it, I think. So now I've finished my first row, and now we are going to chain 3. Now we are going to chain our first stitch in the fourth one. So you're gonna count 1, 2, 3 and chain in the fourth one. Now I'm gonna meet you at the end of the row. So this is your first row. Now what you're gonna do is that this is the last stitch in my first row. Now we're gonna flip your work, chain 3, and stitch double chain in it. We're gonna stitch 2 stitches twice in the first stitch. One, two. That's in the first stitch. So you can make, this is where your neck is going to be, and this is where the bottom is. So you're gonna just work your way to the row. I'm sorry, but this is my first time to make a video, so please be easy on me. Now you have finished your second row. This is the last stitch in the second row. So you're gonna flip your work out and chain 3, and you're not gonna increase in here because this is where the bottom is going to be. So you're just gonna chain as usual, just 1 double chain in each stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of the row because this is where we are going to increase. So now I have the last 2 stitches. We're gonna make a double chain here, just 1, but at the last stitch we are going to chain 3 double chains in it, so we can increase that row. 1, 2 and 3. So it can give you that kind of shape. This is where the neck opening is going to be, and this is the bottom. gonna continue increasing until the 8th row, the row number 8. So you're gonna flip your work, chain 3, and you're gonna increase in the first stitch as well. So 1, 2, the same stitch, and 3. So you have increased again. This is the row number 3 actually. 4. No, it's number 4, excuse me. And you're gonna continue just 1 double chain in each stitch, and I'm gonna meet you at the end of the row, and you're just going to continue like that until the row number 8. So this is the row number 8, and this is what you should be left with. Can you see? I guess that makes it more clear. So now you're gonna just stop increasing. You're just gonna go vertical, 1 double chain in each stitch until we end up with this row. So I'm gonna actually make 25 row in each of it. Vertical lines, I'm gonna end up with 20. This is 8 row. This is where we're gonna stop increasing, and then we're gonna continue just 1 double chain in each stitch, and in conclusion all of them is going to be 25 rows. Now this is the finished product. Just finished it. This is where you, like I said, the neckline. This is the front of your oversized sweater. This is, I guess the pictures everything. So now I'm going to start by stitching the other side of it. Like I said, we are making the front of this sweater all alone, and then we're gonna make the backs, then we're gonna make the arms, and then we're gonna stitch them all together. So I'm making a hook, and I'm gonna start my first row stitching it with this, what I already made. So I'm gonna chain 3, in each stitch I'm gonna make a double chain. Now we're gonna increase until the 8th row. Just we're gonna make what we already made at this one, and this is what you should be left up with. You're just gonna duplicate yourself with it. this is the bottom. Now we have finished. We're gonna make this row, like this banner that is gonna make our sweater thick. Not thick, but it's going to make it heavy, so the sweater would drop down and not be all flimsy and go everywhere. We're gonna change our hooks to our small hook. So at the beginning we started with the hook that is 60 millimeters. Now we're gonna change it to the hook that is 4 millimeters, and we are going to make slip stitches in each of these stitches. Now we're gonna kind of eyeball it. It's okay if you have missed one or something, but it's kind of forgiving. So you're gonna make slip stitches into each one so we can create the chain that we're gonna work out with after that. We're gonna continue and I'm gonna meet you at the end. So this is what it looks like. I've just finished it. This is the bottom. We can leave it like that if you want, but I like to add that pattern that you're gonna see because it makes the sweater goes down and give it its weight. So I'm gonna chain 15 one. You can make it longer or you can make it shorter, it's up to you. So I made 15 chain, and now that's the trick. Where it's gonna be is that you're gonna stitch in you're gonna make a stitch in the, you're gonna flip your work and stitch in the back one, not in the front one. You're gonna stitch in the back loop so they can be so close together, not fluffy, and make it weight to it. You're gonna make slip stitches in each stitch in the back loop. Now I'm gonna meet you at the last stitch because this is kinda tricky. So you're gonna end up with this. So you're gonna make a slip stitch in that last one, and also you're gonna make a slip stitch to the next one, which is already on the sweater, so you can make it a foundation to your second row. I would recommend if you count each stitch while you're stitching, because you should be, if you made 15, you should be end with 13 when you're making, and that would be much easier to just count your stitching. So you're gonna flip your work, count 2, and stitch in the back loop of the third stitch. 1, 2, and you're gonna stitch in the 3 one in the back loop to it. One chain in each stitch until I meet you at the beginning of that. Now you're gonna lift with, this is the last 2 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So like I said, I recommend you count it because it's going to make it so easy. So this is one, this is the one before the last one, and this is the last one. So you're just gonna make it just like the rest of them, and now you are gonna chain one. Then you're gonna flip your work just gonna chain one in each stitch. It's so easy if you just count each stitches that you're making. Now I'm counting again because kinda easy to forget about it, and I'm gonna show you one more time. Now I'm at the end. This is the last stitch. You're gonna make 2 slip stitches, one slip stitch and one in the other, that is going to be the foundation of your second row. Flip your work, chain, make a chain in the third one. So you're gonna leave the first 2 because these are the slip stitches that we just made, and you're gonna chain one in the third one at the back of the loop, of course. You're just gonna continue as usual. So this is going to make it thick. You can see how it's firming. Now this is the finished product. Now we have finished the front of the sweater, all of it. And now we are going to start with the back. So the back is very easy. You're just gonna make vertical lines, and that's it. No increasing, no decreasing, it's just vertical lines. It's the same. I'm going to make 70 chains because I want to make the back longer than the front, but this is up to you. You can see that my nails are changing the colors because I like to play with nail polish, and yeah, pretty much that's it. So this is the first row, my first chain, not the first row, first chain, and you're just gonna continue with it. By the way, this is my favorite nail polish, but now we're back. We are going to skip first 3 stitches and chain a double chain. Make a double chain in the first one, just like the other one, but except we're not increasing. We are just making vertical lines with the same long length, with the same length. Now this is the finished product that we have made, and I'm thinking it looks pretty good now. This is the front one. Now I'm gonna learn you how to make the first arm. This is so I decided to go with 2 colors, white and gray. I think these 2 colors goes very well with each other. So this is the first arm that I made, and I'm gonna show you how to make 1, 2. So all you're gonna do is just vertical lines, and that's it. You're gonna make 50 chains with 40 row, maybe 30, just how you wanna make it look like. So now this is the finished product of the first arm. I made 2 mini chains. I'm gonna write down below how much I made. And now we're going to make the cuff that is going to be holding into your hand. So we're gonna make it tight, so it's going to be different from what we have made in the front and the back of the sweater, because we want to make it more tight so it can hold to our hands. So you want to make it tight like that, so it's like grabbing into your arm. We're gonna change our hooks to the smaller ones, 4 millimeters. You can also make this oversized sweater with a 5 millimeter hook and a 3 millimeter. So here we're going to make the slip stitches into 3 stitches, so it's going to make it tight to our hands. So with our 4 millimeters hook, we're just going to, maybe you should just watch it because I'm apparently not very good in English. Well, it's kind of forgiving if you skip one or two, because it's you're kind of eyeballing in this stage. So you're going to be in 1 and 2 and then you're gonna mix through it. So maybe one more time. 1 and then 2. It's kind of hard to go through with your hook, and you have 3, 1 on your chain, on your hook, and then you're going to slip stitch all over those. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of going to be a little bit tight on your arm, so if you wanted to make it even more tight, you can make slip stitch through 3 chains, through stitches. Now we're going to make it, it's just going to be like the one we have made on the front and the back of our sweaters. So here I'm chaining 12, we're gonna skip the first one and chain 1. So just like the one we have made in the front and the back of the sweater on the white wool, it's going to be just the same. You're going to make slip stitches in the last one and a slip stitch to the one with it in the arm, so it's going to be the foundation to your second row. Now now this is the finished product, and you can see it's kind of tighter than the one with the front and the back. So yeah, guys, that's it. And I have made the second arm of the camera, so we have now 2 arms, and the front and the back, and now all we're gonna have to do is just stitching them all together. This is the front, this is the neckline, and this is the back. So we're going to stitch them together like that. So easy. So with slip stitching, you're just gonna slip them each stitch. You're gonna mark so you're gonna make a mark to where you're gonna stop stitching. You can make it with a pen or something, but here I'm using like a different color of it, and I'm tying it together, and this is where we're going to stop stitching them together. So we're going to insert our hook in the first stitch of the front and the back. So you're gonna make through your hook. And yeah, pretty much that's it. Slip stitching till you get to your mark. Now this is where our mark is, and basically we put a mark before this neckline with 2 rows. So because we're gonna clean all over this neckline and make it more beautiful. And now that's it. Remove your mark, and now we're gonna stitch the arms before we stitch the sides. So we're going to put a mark in the middle of your arm, so we can place it in the middle of the sweater. So just like that, I'm using this fuchsia wool kind of thing to put it in the middle of the arm. So let's say you made 40 arms, 40 rows, you're gonna put it in the middle. So that's in the twins, in the row number 20. I'm sorry, just can't speak at all. So please forgive me for that and excuse me. So now this is where you're gonna place your mark with it. You can use pens, it's so much easier, like those colorful pens. Just it happens that I don't have them now, so I'm just kind of using what I already have. So that's going to be like that, and you're gonna stitch them together. So just like that, you make a mark to make it so easy for you. And now you're going to just make slip stitching just for attaching the arm to the sweater. Just like what we did before. Now you're gonna stitch the arm together. Just that easy, just like that. And now you're gonna stitch everything together. It's gonna stitch the sides, everything, and then you're gonna clean your work, and this is the finished product.